Now, as always, on Roll for Crit, we like to talk about legal troubles. We're really at heart a show about the law and order,
Law and
RFC.
gaming. Dun-dun.
So another.
We need to make like now an intro of like us. Like,
We will. Do we need? Anyway, there's been some more legal troubles. This is actually an old thing. I don't remember talking about this if we did or not.
a little bit because
did.
we talked about when we played it.
Okay.
And how I think you brought it up.
But basically, these are two games that we've both played both of them.
Mm-hmm. I own one of them.
Bang and Legends of the Three Kingdoms.
Mm-hmm.
And Legends of the Three Kingdoms, if you're not familiar, is basically Bang with a Legends of the Three Kingdoms skin.
Mm-hmm.
And the lawsuit was about whether or not those are too similar, and they actually came out with a ruling which was in favor of Legends of the Three Kingdoms, and they didn't have to do anything, and that the mechanics in Bang were not
You can't copyright a mechanic.
unique enough, or in some sense, to be copyrightable. So that the rest of it was okay.
I do know from when we played it, there are, I think, some significant differences. Like, I feel the roles are, there's a lot more roles.
It's funny, well, because just the two of, in the case, for instance, both companies actually agreed pretty much that the mechanics were very similar.
No, like,
like
I
they
think
weren't.
the hidden one is, but unlike in Bang, I feel, if I recall when we played Bang, there really was like, there's the sheriff, this, and like, that's
Right,
all.
there's a lot more
but
stuff,
like, yeah, in Three Kings, there's not just the emperor, which is in essence the sheriff. There was like, you could be like, I'm gonna, I'm not even gonna butcher the names. But the legendary Chinese warriors, and they all had special abilities. Like, I remember mine initially, this one, because I'm pretty sure I'm saying it right, Dao Chan, was like, I would just like force people to battle and stuff, which was great, because I pretty much made everyone kill themselves.
Right, but at their cores,
Yeah.
they're the same. They're the
Right.
same game. So, this could say a lot for board games, because I guess what they basically have said, at least for, I don't know, I'm just saying this to kind of fuel the fire. I don't know if I think this is true or not, but I mean, like, I could take Ticket to Ride and make it animals instead of trains, and that would be fine, because if I effectively rework all the art and the wording and the themes, those mechanics aren't copyrightable, and I can get away with that. Is that how you're understanding this outcome?
Well, I would have to read the...
'Cause that's basically what they did.
I'd have to read the official wording of like the announcement from the
Right. I mean,
but that could be possible hypothetically. But once again, that's why I said like you need to worry, because one word could be the difference of whether you're allowed to or
right.
not.
Well, I think that if I had to choose one extreme or the other, that's for the best, because the one thing you don't want is
a game mechanic being copyrighted.
Right, someone saying, "Oh, you did this one little thing," and then it discourages creativity.
Actually,
discourages.
I was watching a video sort of unrelated talking about the difference between copyright and trademark, and they brought up in video games.
It's about 3D printing?
No.
Okay.
It was about it was brought up in video games how you can't copyright a mechanic, but
Well, I want to talk about that.
it reminded me because they actually brought up, and no, this is something we talked about. Apparently, Wizards of the Coast actually copyrighted one of the, I can't remember which one it was, but a collectible card game. So people started using the word trading card game. That's why it's so, remember, that's where that comes from.
Interesting. Is it still theirs?
That I don't know.
Because I've seen people use them interchangeably.
It might be, maybe they gave it
Well,
up
it's
after
like
because...
living card game,
But like that, they mentioned how if imagine if a game could like only EA could perform first-person shooters, only Fantasy Flight could make 1v all games.
Well, what they mentioned was apparently there was a similar case a long time ago involving Pac-Man, where they deemed the same thing, that they determined that Pac-Man wasn't, those actual game mechanics aren't copyrightable. There's got to be a better word for that. But they said, I think this was an actual quote from like the court, that for example, a game like Legend of Zelda, you could, because it's like, I guess, intricate enough that it's like, whereas something like for example, you look at Bejeweled and Candy Crush and every other Tetris clone that exists, like it's such a simple mechanic that like you can't, I don't know, it's very weird where you draw the line between what you can and can't say is okay to take.
No, it is one that the problem, that's the thing with mechanics. You don't want to be able to, like I said, make it so only EA can make first-person shooters.
Right.
But at the same time, you have to analyze each situation. Like, let's look at Legend of Zelda. The idea of gaining equipment, I would say, or something, I wouldn't copyright. Let's say that's copyrighted. Like, Metroid does it.
Right.
Granted, they're owned by the same people, but
right.
But I think if you made a game about a swordsman getting a boomerang,
right?
Then, like, there is a line. And I think if they made one where, like, if they didn't have the Three Kingdoms skin, like, it didn't have that card over, like, if it was literally, like, text for text the same, then yeah, like the Magic the Gathering against, was it Hex?
Yeah.
Remember, they had a card, you put two cards together, it was the same card.
I forget how that turned out. Did they have to change some of their stuff?
They did have to change it, I believe.
Yeah.
So I think it does come down to really almost the wording on the cards. Like, maybe not the mechanic itself of tapping a card, even though the word tapping is. But if you literally made cards that were like, if I could switch the cards out and you wouldn't know the difference.
Right. Yeah. No, that's a fair point. Like, yeah, I think that.
So like, if your Ticket to Ride game was, if you didn't give me,
there's no words on those cards.
No, but if you were like not describing a train or animal, but you just said you use red cards to make a red trail to get points. Like, if you could, and I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between your game and Ticket to Ride, I think you have an issue.
I think maybe there's a market for, like, the Asylum of board games to come in.
What we got to do.
Or the Weird Al of board games.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Just all parody games.
See? It's all connected.
And then you haven't made it in the board game world until Weird Jonathan has made a parody game.
This is going to happen. This is a Kickstarter in the making. Well, I mean, there is, AEG.
And of course, half of them are food related.
Right, if not more. AEG did do Twilight Squabble. And
yes.
And Munchkin is kind of a parody of D&D. That kind of exists.
Yeah, but it has to be like full on obvious.
Right. Like the Mad magazine of board games. Anyway, yeah. So that's legal stuff. Once again, we're not lawyers, but we do watch a lot of TV about lawyers. So I feel like
I've watched multiple seasons of Law and Order SVU. That has to be related, right?
I think that's exactly what it is.